Surrendering the mask. What does that mean to me? It means allowing God to meet me where I'm at in my life, to meet me where I am weak and provide the strength. It means that everything is not okay all the time. It means that I don't control everything. I can't make it okay. I can't pretend that it's okay. Surrendering the mask means allowing God to be God in my life. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I'm 27. I'm a mom. I came from a really bad background. Sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse were all in the mix of that. At an early age, I learned that I could take all my emotions and I could put them in a box. And if I didn't want to feel them, I didn't have to. If I thought everything was okay, it was. I put on that mask, the cover-all mask. And as I got older, not dealing with those emotions, anger, rejection, pain, any of those emotions, I couldn't make healthy relationships, healthy friendships with anybody. Everything was superficial. Why? Because that's what I was. I was superficial. Skin deep was okay. When you got inside, I was dying. And not being able to make those healthy relationships, I chose ones that weren't healthy. At a young age, 16, I got into drinking and doing drugs and in with a bad crowd. Eventually, I got pregnant at a young age as well, 18, and by the grace of God, whom I didn't believe in at that time, but still protected me, I was able not to do drugs during my pregnancy. And when my daughter was born, I thought, this is it. This is it. This is my freedom. She's going to love me. She's going to accept me. She's going to want me. She's not going to hurt me. I thought I was going to have this freedom. But that's a heavy load to put on a child. So I soon found out that she was not going to provide that for me. And before you know it, I was back out there in the drug world doing my thing. I got arrested once, went to jail, came back out, still did the same thing. Because I thought, okay, these people need me. I can do drugs, they'll accept me. I had a purpose. They didn't reject me, no. Not as long as I had what they wanted. So, of course, I came back out, and I did the same thing, because I didn't want to deal with all those masses saying that everything's not okay, that I had problems. So, eventually I went back to jail a second time, facing a larger sentence. And for some reason, that time was different. That time, I was broken. That time, I broke down and I started to read the Bible, Psalms 118 and 119 over and over and over one night, and I just cried. The jail guards had thought I had lost my mind. They were thinking they were going to have to go put me in a padded room. But I just cried and I read over and over and over, and I prayed. I'm like, God, I don't understand. Where have you been? Why weren't you here? The next day, a girl came from prison, and she was coming through to fulfill the last part of her sentence in the jail I was at. And she had freedom. She had surrendered those masks. She had dealt with her past. And when she got there, she's seen that in me. She's seen the mask that I carry. She's seen the pain that I harbored. This girl was the first one to speak life into me, to show me that Jesus was the only way. And she knew that that was the only way that I would let go of those masks. She knew it might take a little bit as well. She gave me my first Bible. When she came, the whole feel of the jail changed. And then, when I went to court, they gave me a second chance. by the grace of God, they gave me a second chance. I ended up in rehab instead of prison. And in rehab, the first person that I stopped and seen and who checked me in invited me to church. And I went, because I learned about God and I knew He was good. And I went. And before I knew it, I had a bunch of ladies that came alongside me. Why? Because they seen the mess that I carried as well. They'd seen the hurt and pain that I harbored. What I thought I was covering up. Then I got an assignment at rehab. And the assignment was to write an autobiography about your life. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So as I wrote these things that had happened to me, and where I'd been, I started to break. I started to cry. My box that I had packed away so nicely inside had begun to open. And when it did, I didn't know what to do with it. I tried to pick all those feelings back up and put them back in the box and put my mask back on, but I couldn't. And right then, not even an hour later, these ladies came back up beside me, the ladies from the church. And they encouraged me, and they said it's okay to feel these feelings. It's okay to have these, but the thing is that we're going to lay them before God. We're not going to let them reap dominion over your life. We're not going to let them be a foothold for Satan to come in and wreak havoc. It's okay to feel. It's okay to feel these. And that afternoon, those masks melted off my face and laid everything before Jesus, who knew they were already there. But He granted the freedom. See, we as women have to understand that it's okay, that everything isn't perfect, that we don't have to put ourselves last, that we don't have to hide behind these masks. It's okay if you feel weak. It's okay to feel vulnerable. Why? Because in our weakness, God is strong. That's why we need Him. Thanks.